I need to tell you about a paper that just made every cybersecurity expert's timeline a lot more urgent. A researcher at Google Quantum AI has shown that breaking the encryption protecting your bank account, your emails, and most of the secure internet just got 10 times easier. Not 10% easier, 10 times. What we thought might take 20 million quantum bits to crack now needs fewer than 1 million, and that changes everything about when this threat becomes real. So let me explain what we're actually protecting here. RSA encryption, named after Rivest, Shamir, and Adelman, is everywhere. Every time you see that little padlock in your browser, every time you log into your bank, every time a secure message gets sent, there's a very good chance RSA is involved. And it works on a beautifully simple principle. It's easy to multiply two large prime numbers together, but incredibly hard to work backwards from the result. Now scale that up to numbers that are hundreds of digits long, and harder becomes, would take all the classical computers on Earth longer than the age of the universe. Schokken Nazi den Nazien naber für uns. That's what keeps your data safe, the mathematical difficulty of factoring huge numbers, and for decades, that's been enough. But here's where quantum computers break the rules. In 1994, a mathematician named Peter Shor developed an algorithm that completely sidesteps the factoring problem. Shor's algorithm uses quantum superposition, the ability of quantum bits to be in multiple states simultaneously, and quantum interference to find the mathematical period hidden in the factoring problem. What takes classical computers exponential time takes quantum computers polynomial time. That's the difference between impossible and inevitable. The catch has always been scale. Yes, Shor's algorithm works in theory, but you'd need a quantum computer so large, so stable, so error-free that it seemed decades away. In 2019, researchers estimated you'd need about 20 million physical qubits running for 8 hours to crack RSA 2048. 20 million qubits. We're currently celebrating machines with a few thousand, so the threat felt distant, theoretical, something for our grandchildren to worry about. And then Craig Gidney published his new paper, fewer than 1 million physical qubits. That's the new estimate. 1 million instead of 20 million, a 95% reduction in hardware requirements, and it could factor RSA 2048 in under a week. 5 days of continuous operation to be precise, assuming you can maintain microsecond scale error correction cycles and keep gate error rates below 0.1%. Those are still demanding specs, but they're no longer science fiction. How did the estimate drop so dramatically? 3 key innovations. First, something called approximate residue arithmetic, which reduces the computational overhead in the quantum factoring circuit. Second, a technique called yoked surface codes that stores idle logical qubits far more efficiently. And third, replacing an old method called magic state distillation with magic state cultivation, which slashes the number of Toffoli gates needed from trillions down to just a few billion. Gidney's own estimate went from 20 million qubits in 2019 to 1 million in 2025. In 6 years, the target shrank by a factor of 20. So, when does this actually become a problem? IBM's roadmap projects fault-tolerant quantum computers with hundreds of logical qubits by 2029. At that scale, breaking 1024-bit RSA could become feasible in hours or days. We're not talking about some distant future anymore. We're talking about this decade. And that's why Google's researchers are urging software developers and encryption experts to move to post-quantum cryptography now. Not soon, now. The recommendation is clear. Vulnerable systems should be deprecated after 2030 and completely disallowed after 2035. That might sound like plenty of time, but migrating the entire internet's encryption infrastructure is a monumental task. Every bank, every government system, every secure communication platform needs to transition to algorithms that quantum computers can't crack. The good news is, those algorithms exist. They're being standardized right now. The bad news is, we just learned we have a lot less time than we thought. Your bank's crypto wall just got thinner. What seemed like an impenetrable mathematical fortress now has a countdown timer on it. The race isn't to build bigger quantum computers anymore. It's to upgrade our defenses before those computers arrive. And if there's one thing this research makes clear, it's that they're coming faster than we expected.